Hello everyone, this is Crazy, aka Why Must I Sign In, and this is just an overview into strategies in gearing a hardcore seasonal monk. I was talking to a friend earlier and he was like, well, Crazy, if you make more than one character, you're not going to be able to use Haedrig's gift more than once, what's the point? And I'm like, well, first of all, in hardcore, I don't like to have all my eggs in one basket, so you get a total of 3 Haedrig's Gift, and each Haedrig's Gift gives you 2 set pieces. Now, the way I look at it is, with something like Sunwoko's Balance, 50% damage reduction is basically going to be enough to get you up to surviving in Torment 3 at least, right? With barely any other gear. I mean, I still have a pretty bad pair of boots, and some of my other pieces are not just the best rolled. But my thought is that, okay, with taking 2 pieces, that's going to be enough to get you up to be able to farm for the rest of the set. At a moderate torment difficulty going through rifts, you should be able to get several pieces in relatively decent time. And that's generally been the case. That's how I did my Demon Hunter, and I got a complete set. Things have gone a little slower today with my monk, but I have got Sunwoko's Pause. Cooldown reduction, not super thrilled with, but it's fine. Sunwoko's Soul, again, is regeneration really ideal? It's not the best roll for regen, honestly. It's a pretty low roll, first of all, and maybe I'd rather have all resist there. And then I got Sunwoko's Leggings, and this I haven't actually rerolled anything on yet. It's doing alright. And in the process of farming all these, I got some other really important items. So I also got Kyoshiro's Soul. Sweeping Wind gains 2 stacks every second it does not deal damage to any enemies. And so with this set, the most important thing is to maintain Sweeping Wind pretty much all the time. And the other important thing I got was over here, I extracted a Vengeful Wind, which let me get the maximum count of Sweeping Wind to 7. Now, because Kadala has been extremely reluctant to give me the hat, I'm still using Gana Nakashu. So I'm using a Ring of Royal Grandeur at the moment for this run, but this should still be enough to have pretty decent damage going on up through. I'm going to go ahead and do just Torment 16 right now. I'm going to empower it. I'm kind of powering up a couple of different gems right now. And since when I'm doing OBS with Diablo, it gets very frustrated and tends to sometimes crash my computer, and I'm in hardcore mode, I'm going to go ahead and keep it a relatively low setting right now. This monk right now's survivability is good for, depending on how I do the settings. I can change one of the armor pieces and some of the abilities, and comfortably walk around Torment 8. But my damage at when I go that route, tends to be really low. So right now, I'm just trying to do the other stuff on solo torments that I will be clearing a little bit faster. And you can see, the Sweeping Wind is doing fine damage on its own. When I'm against elites, I can use my my right click to drop them almost immediately. And I'm taking pretty much no damage. So this is Rift difficulty 16, still pretty low Rift difficulty overall, but still, when your gems are low level, you don't really need to go higher. You're not going to get more level ups as a consequence, especially if you're doing multiple gems at the same time. And so basically, so long as Sweeping Wind is up, I have 50% damage reduction, and because of my belt, if there's no enemies around me, I'm always getting more stacks, which means that I should pretty much just always have it up. The only problem tends to be if, shielding, or if I'm near a jailer every now and then, but for the most part, it's pretty rare for a Sweeping Wind to go down, and if it goes down, I almost always will have enough spirit to bring it back up immediately. Which is just makes it effectively permanent 50% damage reduction. And so that's definitely enough for like Torment 3, probably enough for more than that. And I can combine it with a chest ability if I lay off my right clicks. So that, I mean, the right clicks, losing the stacks of Sweeping Wind is not the issue. The issue would be losing max spirit. Because there's a chest piece that lets you have additional damage reduction with max spirit. And so if you just don't use a spirit spender, you can be super tanky and just roll and just stay alive in Torment 8 or 9.
A vicious strike.
And so yeah, the timing here is fine. I'm pretty much killing anything, whites, champs, elites, it doesn't matter, it's all the same. And that's mostly because this is a low difficulty for the amount of damage I can do with the equivalent of the full set. And I'll actually show you something else when this run is done that, you know, he was like, well, I mean, do you want to spend the time, you know, doing just a little bit of grinding to get the gear up? And I'm like, well, yeah, that's kind of this game. It's all about the grind, man. So I'd rather have, in hardcore, 3 characters with a full level 70 set that lets them, you know, run around in Torment 5 or 6 or 8 or even 9.
A vicious strike, what you
Than having one character with, you know, a bunch of redundant gear that you're gonna get anyway after just a little bit of farming. Now, I don't have the full set yet, though, so I mean, the idea that maybe you would get the full set faster, but I mean, as soon as you get a Ring of Royal Grandeur on any character, which, I mean, you're going to want some mats to extract items anyway, so the chances of getting a Ring of Royal Grandeur are not exactly high, but as soon as you get one once, man, you're good to go for 2 more characters. I mean, then all you have to do is get 5 set pieces rather than 6. And maybe you're like, well, getting 6 set pieces sounds like a lot of, you know, getting even 5 set pieces sounds like a lot of work. Really, it's not, because so long as you have 2, you know, all you're doing is trying to get 3 more. And it can be any piece, basically, because at this point you can reroll sets. So it's so easy to get the set piece that you need with a medium amount of rerolling. That, yeah. I do still want to get the full set, partly because I like having something other than the Ring of Royal Grandeur in that sock. Although actually having Lashing Tail reduced in cost here is letting me to spam it all over the place. Which is actually kind of nice. But I could throw that as the armor set piece depending on which difficulty I'm on.
My mind is stronger.
Change in the foreground here. Right, so let's see if I can. Should basically be able to, yeah, two shots, but it died pretty fast. And so, yeah, I'm gonna few into you, but I'm not. When it gets down to 70, I tend to switch to something else. And so now this should be at 70, and may be like, alright, I'll go ahead and throw one on Pain Enhancer, which is one I'm working on for later on. And yeah, so very easy tier 16 Greater Rift, such that I basically can be at risk of disconnecting and still expect to survive before it gets to the point of disconnecting me. But while I was farming for all this stuff, I also got an entire Raiment of 1,000 Storms set. I mean, I need to re-roll the boots and a hat, but whatever. 5 pieces of an Inez, 2 pieces of Uliana's, and, well, actually, I don't know about that. So, I'm gonna be pretty much able to do all the set dungeons pretty quickly. You know, whichever ones are easiest. You only need to do a couple. And so all I need now is 1 more piece of Inez, and I'll be good to go here. Oh wait, is this actually a 7-piece set? Oh, okay, I actually need 2 more pieces of Enos now that I look at it to have the 100% set. But you only need 6 to get the bonus, so whatever. Right, so, oh hey, and another Bane of the Powerful. That's nice. I actually might level that one up a little bit too. I have a Bane of the Powerful on my Demon Hunter, but I've not been using it on this guy. And I think it's generally a pretty good gem. Let's see what this guy gets. Oh, what's it gonna be? Cyclone Strike reduces your damage taken by 50% for 5 seconds. So, yeah, that's another thing I could extract if I want to find another way to maintain 50% damage reduction. In fact, I might actually do that, just like, not the Schaefer's too. I probably have enough Death's Breath just in my thing right now. Love Schaefer's, it's such a nice item. And now you. And so now, I was using Pride's Fall right now, but here, I'll explain my reasoning right now. So I was using Pride's Fall because now that I've been using Lashing Tail Kick to kill champions, I wasn't really able to use... Oops. Where'd it go? Aquila Chris. So while above 90% primary resource, all damage taken is reduced by 50%. So basically, if you don't use a Spirit Spender, if you use this, it stacks with the Sunwuko's buff. So like, you can look at my toughness right now, it's 60 million. If I took off the Sunwuko's, well, I mean, if I didn't have this up, if I didn't have Sweeping Wind up, then I would drop down to 30 million. And if I switch to Aquila Caress, you can see 126 million, right? So it doubles your toughness, which is 126 million toughness is pretty much good enough for Torment 8. Not to deal damage, but to walk around and collect loot. If you have 3 people in your party that can actually deal damage, you provide them with hard target. You can switch to the slow down Sweeping Wind. You can even probably get away with something else, and that's a good way to really quickly get Paragon levels and to do other things as well. Now what I can do right now is I can switch to this, and so then if I'm ever taking damage, I can be using oh wait, no, that's not going to work, because Cyclone Strike is not going to be, won't activate off this. And so I would have to have 2 different Spirit Spinders, and that's generally pointless. You're going to use one or the other, in my mind. I mean, I could use the AoE and heal myself once and get the 50% stack, but no, I'll probably just stick with Pride's Fall for the moment. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to continue on with higher and higher greater risk, getting a sense of what feels comfortable. I hope you found this video informative and enjoyable. And if you did, you'll like and subscribe. Anyway,